Hi everyone. There it is. Hi Jean. Morning Ilona. Hi Grace. Judy. God morning. You missed an hour out. Morning Heather. It's a beautiful morning in Milton Keynes. Sun's out. I hope you've been enjoying the sneak peeks on the Crafting with Sentimentally Yours. Well, let's get the name right. Crafting with Phil Martin and Sentimentally Yours group. It's such a long name, isn't it? It's too early for me as well. Do you know, I could have had a lie in this morning, but I woke up at 6:30, which is really annoying. Really annoying. I have been into town, packed a load of orders, done some stuff on my website, done some social media, done quite a bit this morning. But you don't need to know that, do you? Just wait for everybody to kind of jump on. Hopefully not everybody's out in the garden already. So did you all see Phil's Facebook Live on Tuesday night? These stamps are absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm quite excited about them because there's so many possibilities with them. Not just mixing and matching, but they're very techniquey. Well, that just reminded me, I need to get some bits and pieces out. So while people are jumping on, I did promise, but I don't think Bev's watching because she's got physio, so she's the ringleader for me to do a technique that I'm not supposed to be doing. But let's get the bits out anyway, so we can have a go. Somewhere in the bowels of my crafty stash, there's what I want. Aha! There it might be. Trouble is, where I move things, where do I put the other things? Let's have a look. Don't want that. That's not what I want. Aha! That'll do nicely. You don't know what I'm getting at, but I'm talking to myself, as you do, while you do stuff. I seriously need to get rid of a load of stuff out of my craft room. It's just super ridiculous. Getting there. Pre-loved section on my website, loads of things I'm getting rid of. So should we start? We haven't got 170 odd people like Phil has, but we'll make a start, shall we? Because I will pop this video onto my YouTube channel later. So if you're not already a subscriber, it would be lovely if you would do that. I'll just bring in the link for you. So there's loads of videos on there. I think I've got over 100 videos on there already. There's a whole bunch from Sentimentally Yours, and you can actually just select a particular playlist if you want to. So there's obviously Sentimentally Yours, and that's split into Trudy's and into Phil's, and there's also a section on Hi Sue. There's also a selection on Flawless Media as well, so there's a few techniques with that. Then there's Indigo Blue, there's Fairy Hugs, there's some Memory Box, there's some Studio Light, there's lots and lots of different videos on there. Quality, Julia, not quantity. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. 28 of you are the best viewers ever. I will mention as well that the new collection is live on my website, and I did originally think that I wouldn't be able to post orders out until next Thursday because I'm actually in the studio Tuesday and Wednesday, but it looks like I'll be able to start sending orders out from Monday onwards. So there's currently a 10% discount on items that will be on the Create and Craft shows over on my website, and I've just popped the link in there for you. And the code you need to pop in is actually for your 10% discount. In the discount code box at checkout, you type in yours APR10. So that's the code that I've just put on there for you. That's what you pop in the discount code box at checkout, and you'll get 10% of everything that's featured on the Create and Craft shows while it's in stock. I did manage also, if you're interested, I did manage to also get some more of the wood grain stamps, and they'll be here by Monday as well. Not much, but a little bit, and I was quite surprised that I could actually get those. So why is theirs not there? That's what I'm talking to myself. I don't understand why the new stamps haven't gone in the stamp section. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Probably something I've done wrong. It always is, isn't it? It's a work day, not a weekend. It is actually, yeah. But I try and do, when Phil's actually launching a one-day special, I do try and do a live on the day that he launches the one-day special, so that you can actually get some inspiration on the day ahead of the actual launch. So anywho, let's crack on. So Phil showed you the stamps on Tuesday night, so I'm just going to recap those. So you've got 6 A5 stamp sets in total, and they are all clear photopolymer stamps. So you have a big negative stamp. They're all squares, and you know, I've been banging on at him for ages to try and get some squares, because I know you've been wanting square toppers. So it's absolutely fab that we've got them now. And he says they're about 13 centimetres square, but in real money that's just shy of 5 1/4 inches square, because you know I'm an oldie and I like inches. And then the small ones are they're just shy of 2 1/2 inches square. So that's what we're dealing with size wise. So they're perfect. So obviously you can make a large square card if you want to, just with the top, that one. You can make small mini ones, so you can pop a mini frame around there and you can frame your mini ones, and I'll show you a couple of samples that I've done, because for mini works of art these are going to be absolutely brilliant. And don't forget, anything that you make hand make, we do the stamps, you can sell to your heart's content. So you can go to your craft fairs. I mean, I can imagine a selection of these on a wall and would look absolutely fantastic on a canvas as well, you know, absolutely wonderful. So you can do those. But you can actually put like 4 of these together to make a card like Phil did on Tuesday night. You can have a triptych. You can make a DL card with a couple of them and perhaps a sentiment in the middle. And you'll see some of the design team have done that. But don't forget that you can also do different shape cards as well. So you can take your circles and you can pick out, you don't have to do a big circle. You could just have one like that. Can you see where we're getting at like that? So you could just have that area there, or you can move it over slightly and down and just have that one if you wanted to, and have a sentiment here. So don't forget that you can use your other dies as well. And the same goes with the smaller ones. I know that Alison's posted a sample this morning, so you could just have that as a little topper. And again, you could have a triptych either way. A triptych is like 3 images on a card, a DL card. That would look absolutely wonderful. So, you know, get your juices going. You know, they do, if you're looking for inspiration, they are going to get you going. And then you've got your stitch torn octagons here, just about fit with that you need to go down a size actually, because I'm keeping from forgetting that it's the outside edge of the start of your frame. But obviously if you just wanted to mat and layer, you could use that side. If you want to do a frame, you'll be wanting to start with that size there. But again, do yourself an octagon card. That works. And don't forget, you can make shape cards with your octagons. Obviously you can do your stitched torn rectangles as well. Nathan, can you get that please? Doorbell. Hopefully he will. Maybe he won't. Will he? Yeah, he will. Right, so obviously you can get rectangle ones. I mean, that's lovely, isn't it? I think that's really pretty to do your rectangle cards. And finally, in the stitch torn, because we haven't got any squares, but I mean, obviously you know squares going to go, you can do your
You could have at least bloody told me.
Did you hear that? So we've got an oval there, so we could do an oval card as well. Oh, they put the albums up, yeah. So yeah, do check the Sentimentally Yours page to look at the albums with all of the samples. Sorry, Nathan. So anyway, we've got the Spectacular Squares Explorer medley. We've also got the Lady Victoria, which we're going to use now. Oh, it wasn't for... Oh, right, okay, sorry. We got the Victorian Lady Victoria medley here as well. We've also got the Vintage Squire, and I think these are actually proving really popular because they're kind of steampunky. So those are kind of the more kind of not grungy, because they can be really pretty. And I love one of Helen's samples that she's done with the Vintage Explorer. But yes, I say so. Yeah, so these are more steampunky, but they're great for that one. The Vintage Squire and the Explorer are great for mail cards. But lots and lots of mixing and matching that you can do when you're doing your artwork. Then we've got the butterfly medley. Everybody loves the butterfly. Just absolutely stunning stamps. And then you've got your rose medley. What's not to love about a rose? You know, great for your wedding cards. Yes, Diane, he hates opening the door. I absolutely hate opening the doors. Yeah, so we've got the roses, you know, flowers are always popular. And then we've got the daisy medley. Daisies seem to be the most popular flowers that if Phil does a stamp with the daisy on it, that's the one that tends to sell out really quickly. So there's our 6 A5 stamp sets. Then we've also got the new colours in your Radiant Lustre pigment powders. So I've split them up into the sets, although on my website I sell them individually. And these are going to be here on Monday as well. So this is your what I think Phil's called it the vintage set. So you've got a beautiful this is the sapphire blue, you've got the vintage lavender, you've got the perfect plum, the russet, and the which one's this one, verdigris. So they do have, let's open the russet one. See, I do mine upside down so I can see. They do have, can you see all that sparkle that you've got in that one? I don't know if you can see that. That's all right, Debbie, don't worry. Because so it's definitely got kind of more mica kind of chunks to it. Don't know if you can see. It's very difficult to show you, actually. It's not in focus, is it? But anyway, absolutely beautiful. That's that one. That's that set. And then we've also got, as the subtitles did, the County of Somerset. This is the summer set. So we've got Dandelion, we've got Crushed Grape, Deep Aquamarine, Minty Fresh, and this one is the Hot Pepper. So lovely summery colours. So those are they. And I have actually put them on a swatch for you. Put those in order, so you can see what they look like, because it's all very well looking in the tube, isn't it? So here we go, on black and on, this is the watercolour cards, this is the black watercolour card, and this is your super smooth. So at the top we've got the vintage set, and then we've got the summer set down below here, and you've got that lovely kind of shimmer going on here. So the Minty Fresh is kind of a golden green, and the Verdigris is quite gold as well on the black, and they're totally different on the white. So as I said to you, little works of art, or little 4x4 cards. I did post this in the group this morning. So these stand up and everything, look. Well, they would do. Proper cards. How does that ever happen? Look, great little note cards. And this is your summer set on black and on the super smooth watercolour card. So it's that kind of creamy colour. So you can see they look quite different on the two different types. But these, I think, you know, imagine a whole row of these on your wall, in your hallway or something. I think that would be absolutely wonderful. I have done... I'll show you the other ones as we go through the demo, actually. So that's the new stuff, and then we've got, you know, lots of dies and other bits and pieces on as a show as well. So, should we do a demo? Oh, 3-day food festival. Who doesn't love a food festival? Just love, 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 love food. Right, so let's make a start. So I'm going for black card, and this is actually Elegant Ebony, so I think we should probably do it on the watercolour card instead. Let's grab a piece of that. So you can see that the black's a pretty good match actually across the Elegant Ebony and the True Black card. So this has got a bit of a little slight texture to it, but it's super absorbent. And I do have some of this on my website, as well as it being on Honeypot Crafts. It's all right, Nathan's just thrown all my posts on the floor. Don't you just love them? Right, so I am going to dust with an anti-static bag because we're going to be using the powders. So we're using a Sentimentally Yours anti-static bag here. It's always a good idea, and the bag means that any kind of fingerprints or any oil from your hands isn't going to grab at the powders. So I'm going to go into my Press to Impress. And I've already got one that we're going to use. So I'm going to do different colours so that you can see... Oh, look at these magnets. So you can see how the different colours could work for you. Let's put that one up there. You know I like my magnets. I have to have 97 million magnets all over the place. Let's grab what we're going to use. So we are going to go for the... Oh, what should we do? Let's go for the butterfly. The one I'm going to use actually on the card is... I might change my mind. Is the Victorian Lady, or Lady Victorian. But we're going to use the butterfly. I haven't used the butterfly before, because there's so many stamps to use. Because you get 3 in each, so that's 6 times 3 is 18 stamps. Now I would normally dust again once I pick the stamp up, but because I put it straight down, I should be all right. Sometimes when you put a stamp down, if you move it, you'll get some of the residue from the stamp. Now it's a big stamp, so we haven't got an air bubble. I'm just going to roll it back onto the platform, and then we're going to ink it up, and we're going to ink it up with Versamark. Got all these from my frames, little squares. I don't want to throw them away. They'll end up in a bit box at some point. Now, it is a good idea to have a juicy ink pad, because remember this is a negative stamp. So negative stamps, you want quite a lot of ink on them. You don't want kind of gaps at all. So I'm just, not that you have to do it all the time. I'm just going re-inking my Versamark with Versamark Inker. Give it a second to settle in. Now, I used to think that sometimes when I used to get orders for people who buy like 2 or 3 of these at a time, and they last absolutely ages. So I figured out maybe they would just put in the whole of a re-inker on an ink pad. I don't know, but you don't have to. So now we're going to ink up. Lots of tapping. And I am going to actually stamp it twice as a bit of insurance, because I've not stamped this one before anyway. And I want to make sure I got a good coverage. I don't want it all gappy. So the reason I've done one already is just in case I get it all gappy. And I am going on black card because the powders pop on black card, but you can easily do it on white. And I'll show you one I've done on white as well. Just ink it within an inch of its life. And then pop it down. Give it a good old press. I can see I've got kind of air bubbles going on there, so I might get a bit of a gap there. Don't you spread it all over pad with teaspoon or something like that? Nah, never done that. Now, I just always do it from the nozzle. Maybe that's why mine's gappy. Let's give it an extra press where those air bubbles are. And now I'm just going to let the stamp come off of my card. It's lifting up, and that way you're not going to get that, you know, a suction kind of thing going on. That's the noise a suction make. I'm also going to use a pokey tool to make sure that my card doesn't go anywhere. Because this is very absorbent card. Let's just make sure that that's... This is very absorbent card, so I don't want to just linger too long, she says as she flashes around with the stamp. I've got glycerine all over my hands now. Because this is a sticky ink pad. It's not a glue. You can actually use indigo blue Flitter glue rather than an ink pad if you want to, and that has a more of a permanent grab. The powders have got a binder in them anyway, so if you mix them with water or mix them with any medium, then they're bound. So I tend to mix with water afterwards, but the Flitter glue just gives you a little bit more time to do stuff. So again, that's inked within an inch of its life, so hopefully we'll be all right this time. If not, we'll blame the card because it's super absorbent. To be honest, you don't need to use the watercolour card for this, but because I tend to mist it with water, sometimes the Elegant Ebony bends a bit. Let's just pay a bit more attention to where those kind of... Can you see the air bubbles there? It doesn't matter too much. It is grungy, but because it's a negative, we do want to try and get a good result. Right, can I see? Oh, I've got a huge gap in the middle there. I'm going to give it a really good press there. That's better. And I've got a gap on the butterfly. I can actually see it. You can actually, if you look side to side, you can actually see. That's much better. Okay, I can see it now. Right. Let's not faff. So the sample I've already got done is with the vintage set. So we do this with the summer set. So you want a soft brush, and this is one of the Cosmic Shimmer ones. And let's use, I like these 3. These nice bright ones. This is your hot pepper, your dandelion, and a crushed grape. So remember, wherever your powder touches first, that's the bit that's going to get in that colour. So it's like that magic painting that you used to do. We can have a little bit there maybe, and let's have a little bit over here. Oh, a lot over there. Deal with that in a second. If you've done too much and you want to put it back in the pot, you absolutely can, but I'll probably spread it around a bit. Let's get a piece of paper underneath so I don't have to do too much clearing up. And then we go with the hot pepper. And pop some of that on. I know my butterfly is there. There's far too much there. Go over there. I'm going to spread a little bit over here. And down this corner here. Magic. And then I think just put another tiny little bit in the middle there. And then we'll do the rest in our crushed grape. This has got a bit of a blue hue to it. On black. Just a bit down here. And now we just spread it all around now. So some of the colours will mix. Anything that you've got left over, you can make your own paint with if you want to. Looks like I might have got a bit of shadow in there. So I'm a little bit gappy there. That'll be where a sentiment goes. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Then dry wet wipe, cheapest wipe ever, just leave it to dry. And then just over the top, just to remove any excess. And there we go. Absolutely beautiful. I like those colours together. They work really nicely, don't they? So this purple is that one. It's always worth doing a swatch so you know what they're doing. Then I tend to take a water and just mist over the top, which is why watercolour card's really good. So that now will fix that because you've mixed it with water, so it'll fix it. So you want to put that aside to dry. That one. It's a really nice technique, and obviously if you do it on white, I'll show you the one that I've done with on the black, and then I'll show you one I've done on white as well. Different colours, of course. Keep those three out because we'll use those in a minute as well. Mucky, mucky, mucky. So the one I've done ahead of time is your Lady Victoria, and she's just on Elegant Ebony, which is obviously the premium cardstock. And for that one, I've used these three from the vintage set. So you've got your sapphire blue, your vintage lavender, and the perfect plum, and that's what those ones are. Absolutely beautiful. So those are they. Then I've got one I'm going to use in a demo on the telly box that I've done on the white card. Where is it? There it is. So this is with the daisy that way up. And this is your, so these are some of the original colours. So I've got your African Sunset. I also used copper, and I also used the olive. So I've used those three on that one. So, you know, it works on either colour card. So if you don't like using black card, which, you know, it's a different look, I like it, then you see it does definitely work on the Super Smooth as well. So now we're going to stamp, slightly different technique. We are going to stamp on a piece of, and this is this is actually Elegant Ebony because I don't want to use a little tiny piece of my watercolour card. That's precious to me. So we're going to stamp with Versamark again, and we're going to emboss with clear embossing powder. You could use black embossing powder, but I'm going to use clear. And it's a very spectacular, not demonstration. It isn't. It really isn't, because you can't see it, but you know, this is the process. Okay, so dusted with an anti-static bag. I'm just putting it on a block. You can absolutely go onto your stamping platform if you want to. Sorry, words fail me, which is not good, is it, when you have to talk all the time. Tap, 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 tap. Too dry, yeah. It's always good to have a re-inker. Versamark does actually re-ink up quite nicely, actually. So I'm just giving this a bit of a press. See where you're going with it. See what your comments are while my ink's just settling in. Hi Trudy. Right, okay, so ink's in, and we want crystal clear embossing powder. So you can just about, I don't know if you can, but you can just about see in there the image, and this obviously make it look white. You do want to pick up, I mean, you don't have to use this colour. You could do it with gold, or you could do it with white, whatever you want. It would look spectacular if you did use the white, but I want to keep the line art black. So obviously, because I'm putting clear embossing powder on black, you keep the line art black, if that makes sense. Yeah, I've been re-inking my Versafine Claire, but it does actually take quite a lot of ink to re-ink it, to my satisfaction anyway. So I have got a new one out for next week as well. So it's a good idea just to warm your heat tool up before you actually go to it, and then just follow over the top. Because I'm a top girl, I don't heat from underneath. Feel like doing it from behind. So there we go, there's our image. Like I said, it's not very spectacular, is it? But if we take our, has he put that on top of my palette? If we take our palette here and locate Somerset, which I put at the top. So this is the Somerset, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And mist it with water. What have I just done with that misting bottle? Here it is. Don't tell him I said that. I don't know if he's watching. He's probably packing. So we're just waking them up. So if you want to make yourself a paint out of the powders, all you need to do is just do a little bit. You want to grab a brush, and I actually want a wide brush. You want a damp brush, and you just want to dip it into your powder, and then you just mix it in the water. You can keep on dipping. If you make it too thick, you can add some more water to it. But the beauty, I missed that then. The beauty of this is that, just like you've seen me do, you just leave the lid open and the water evaporates and it just sets down into a watercolour cake. And then next time you want to use it, you just spray it again, and you get it going. And you just keep topping it up when you need to. And it's just a really easy thing to do. So that's our crushed grape. So let's just give this a bit of a mist. So actually watercolour card is better than this. You can see how that's bent, whereas the watercolour card just settles down really quickly. Just give it a bit of a mist. Just giving it a mist so that things move around a little bit better. And we'll just paint a little bit over the top. It's a little bit runny, that. Probably needs to be a little bit less runny than that. But again, it's coming out blue. We'll let that settle down and we can just wake that up again in a minute. Oh, is he there? And then this is your hot pepper. I won't add any more water to that one. Get that one going. And then just drag that over the top. So it's that, like the resist where I showed you originally when we did the backgrounds that were a tad messy apparently. You know, a background's a background, isn't it? You can just work with it. Make it less messy. And then this is your dandelion, which is, it's a darker, see here, there's not much left here, but that's the buttercup. So it's definitely darker than buttercup, and it's lighter than the gold. So it's in between those two colours. So again, we've got the resist going on down here. So we need to leave that to dry. Doesn't look a lot at the moment, but we'll leave it to dry. I'll show you one that I've got dry already. So that's just the process, okay? So leave that, put that to one side and leave it open. And then we'll see, we do a little bit of kind of where we're at. So this is one that I've got dried already, and this is with the Lady Victoria. So again, this is the vintage lavender, the plum and the sapphire from the vintage set. Okay, it's lovely. You can see all that black line art on there because we've embossed with the clear embossing powder onto black card. So let's look at where we're going with this. Oh, I've got some painting to do as well. Right. So I've got a proper card. Look, opens and everything. I'm so proud of myself. And this is 7 1/4 inches square. So I've taken an A5, an 8x8 card and just cut it down a wee bit. And we've got a square here. Now the idea is that we're going to take our stitch torn rectangle frame, and I've cut adjacent rectangles together because I only want a thin frame. So obviously going on to here, it'd be really lovely if we just frame her and then we can drop the rest down, but that's going to go over this side and we're going to have a little bit exposed. Now I did like the flicky bits that our Philip did the other night, so I think we're going to have some flicky bits which will probably go everywhere. Hello Jennifer, where have you been? Where have you been, you late girl? Late to the party. So let's take some of the vintage lavender and pop some onto my craft sheet. And pick up some more water. Make ourselves a bit of a paint. And we'll have some flicky bits, which will go everywhere. I just don't want them on my white card. Let's put my white bits somewhere else. There they go, all the way over there. Oh dear, I think it's so funny that it goes everywhere. Even if you're trying to be quite controlled, if I do it down here by me, then it won't go so far. So on my Versamark, at least my Versamark lid's on. Okay, there's my flicky bits. I'll put that aside to dry for a minute. And I'm going to use that to paint, because I also like, see I was watching I also liked his cog kind of background as well. So while we've got this colour on here, we just paint a cog with the vintage lavender as well. And that's going to be my matte for my sentiment. It's not wanting and all that. I should really be picking this up onto rice paper. Have I got any? Oh, I've got a scrappy bit here. I do have a bit of rice paper, plain rice paper in stock. See, look at this. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? I'm not sure what it looks like. There's brushos on there. The trouble with the water-based product is that as soon as you put more water onto it, it starts moving around again. But that will be nice and shimmery when that dries. Because you can stamp onto that. You can add that to your MDF and all sorts of bits and pieces. Here's my kitchen roll. I'm not as precious as you are. That's why my house is a mess. Right, where are we at now? Oh yeah, sentiments. So let's stamp a small sentiment from the mini, the mandala frames and mini sentiments. Because we can do what Philip says. I'm also going to stamp a bigger one as well because I haven't 100% made my mind up as to whether I'm going to do a cog or not. So we can probably get happy birthday on there. Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll just about get that on there. I do like the circle blocks, but I do prefer a thin block myself. So I'm going to use a big block. It does say Sentimentally Yours on it though. And we're going to do Versifying Claire, where are we? Here it is. So we're just going to do this in black. You can stamp with the powders. You can do all sorts. I don't know how much time we're going to have for techniques after this. It might just be a separate Facebook Live that we do with loads of techniques with the stamps. Not sure when, as always. Or it might be a video I do. I don't know. We'll see. Right. There's our little happy birthday. And we do a bigger one as well on here, on this one, just in case, because I haven't made my mind up. Because I can always use it for something else. There's my bigger ones. So we've got the Essential Sentiments on the shows as well. I do have I think I've got one of these left on my website. Let's have a look. Let's have Happy Birthday to You, because I like that one. I like anything to do with birthday. As soon as this is a proper card, of course, I'll ring my lady up and see if she wants it for her charity. Unless he gets packed up at the studio, of course. Happy birthday to you. Of course, you can do this with your stamping platform, but these stamps are just so good quality that, you know, it's a circle. You don't need to worry about getting it straight at all. So we've got 2 sentiments there. So I've got a choice as to what to use. Okay. Let's put that away. You all packed, Mr. M? Right, let's see where we're at. Let's do a little bit of construction. We don't need that just yet. We do need to put our frames on though. So I've used the Creative Expressions mountain cushion, excuse me, because I can cut it down into thin strips, and I've just used 2 of these together. As I said before, it's not the cheapest thing in the world because it's $5.99 for 2 A5 sheets, but it is, you know, you can fetch it off if it goes down and it's in the wrong place, and you can also cut it down and it doesn't stick to your scissors. So it's got lots of plus points to it. So I still really like to use that in some situations rather than regular foam. So pop that down and there like so, and we use our scissors. So for the shows, I plan to do one demonstration per hour, and then any time left we just do techniques. That's my plan anyway. Obviously I don't get the time to kind of explain things quite as thoroughly as we do on a Facebook Live, but it is what it is, isn't it? You can always email me with any questions. It's not a good idea just to use Facebook Messenger because I don't always see the messages, whereas email I do actually see all of the time. I'm just going at an angle so that I can trim that off. And then that's nice and neat now. Makes all the difference, doesn't it, when you cut off the excess. And there's not a lot wasted. Of course, you could use that for stamens and things if you wanted to. Right, so this is going to go on to, is this dry? It's the nearest, damn it. It's just, don't normally like to blot off, but I'm going to. And this is going to go onto my card blank, and we're just going to put a little bit of foam tape. Which size should we go? I want to use it. We'll go for a 2. Stop talking to yourself, Julie, and just get on with it. How long's the drive? I think Phil's drive is about an hour and a half. Mini demos. Do we need to do one of those kind of polls where we ask how many demos Phil's going to get done in an hour? I think in the first hour he'll get 1 done, and I think in the second hour he might get 2 done. What do you reckon? The thing is though, if he doesn't get, if he's probably prepped 2 demos for each hour, and if he doesn't get them all done, he'll just do them as a Facebook Live, so you get to see them anyway. So it's like a win-win situation, isn't it? 1 and 2. Yeah, Helen's in agreement with me. Yeah, that's what I reckon, because there's always more to talk about in the first hour, you know, because people haven't seen it before, unless they've been watching our lives, of course, and why wouldn't they? It's rude not to. Right, let's see which we want, the more splatty side up there, I think. So this is just going to go on here. So not too many layers. Let's see if I can get it straight, because it's always good to have a square card straight. Okay. And then we're going to have this one coming in here like that. There's my glue. 1 3/4. What, Michelle? 1 in the first hour and 3/4 in the second? Is that what you're saying? I hope he gets more than 3/4 done. What's this? I've got a little thread of card there. What's that? Alright, let's put this on here. Like so. Give it a good press. So you don't need to do a lot with these stamps. They are very techniquey. Lots of resist techniques. You can do them with your gilding flakes. You can do loads and loads of different things with them. I absolutely adore them. Right, so I think I'm going to put this one on flat. So this is just two adjacent double deboss squares. I think this is going to go here, and I think I'm going to not put a 3D foam on. I think I'm just going to glue it flat. They make lovely little frames. So you don't have to do the thick frame if you don't want to. Just do two adjacent dies together. I'm going to just blot off some of that excess glue. House move. Yeah, it's going nowhere yet. It's just... I had the agent ring me up yesterday and asked me loads of questions that I can't answer. You know, has there any work been done to the roof? I don't know. How old's the boiler? I don't know. No idea. Why would I know how old my mum's boiler is? Definitely don't know. Right, so this is going to go here. So we need a bit of foam just underneath to make sure that it's at the same depth. And let's need to fat a bit. This is that 3D foam, the mounting cushion rather. So we can put a bit under that bit there, and we want a bit, oh, there's too much rumbling, into that bit there. Oh, and a bit at the top as well. And put the glue on the rest. And remember to take the back off the 3D foam, Julia. It did go cooler yesterday, but the sun's out. It's supposed to be 18 here in Milton Keynes today. It's a little bit cooler than it was at the weekend. The weekend was quite spectacular weather-wise. Right, let's see if that's straight. I need to stand up and check it is. The thing with this foam is that you can move around a little bit as well, which is great. There we go. Happy with that. Then, now the problem is that I don't have glue gel. I don't like using glue gel. So if I have that on there, like so, which will look fabulous. There's nothing to kind of hold it at all, unless I faff around with loads and loads of tape. So alternatively, I can just put that on there. So that's what's going to happen. See, I'll take the easy way out. Hard, easy. Easy, please. Let's check that's the right way up. And that's going to go on that side there, like so. Nip a bit of that off. I did like the idea of the cogs, but do you know, I was going to use... I thought before we started this, I thought, I know, we'd bring in some of the texture dies as well, but I haven't. Because they would look nice just nestled in there as well in the background. But I completely forgot about that. Every time I do a demo thinking I'm going to do those, I completely forget. Because that's what I'm like. So I don't think I'm going to add anything else to it. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't think I'm going to even add any gems to it, actually, to be honest. I mean, we could add, you know, you could bring in, let's have a look. Not that way, Julia. Will it go in that way? I've completely cut that wrong. But you could add a bit of the cogs in the background if you wanted to. Yeah, I've completely cut that wrong. But do you know what I mean? So you could add that in. don't know if I want to. Because that'll cut her head off. Don't want to cut her head off. Faff, 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 faff. That might be alright. What does it look like on the screen? Nathan's talking to himself. Yeah, should we add them in? Let's just add them in. Just because otherwise they just go in the bin. So this is from the Lots of Cogs. I think we're finished with that. I don't think I'm going to do anything else. That's fine, Debbie, no problem. Right, so it is, we have actually been going for nearly an hour. I will give you one quick technique, just because of the one that I think it was Bev or somebody asked while Phil was doing his live on Tuesday. So we'll just do a quickie, so to speak. I'm quite pleased with that. Looks lovely, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful. And of course I've got all the bits and pieces I can use with my butterfly. And this one here that's now dry. That one's dry now. So obviously if you cut this down, quickly let's show you. This is me going off pieced. Cut it down a bit. And put a frame around it. Lovely, isn't it? Works. Right. That's that one. So let's grab a piece of black card and a piece of white card. Black and white. Right, so we were asked about gilding flakes, and Phil said I wasn't allowed to do this until he has his own gilding flakes. So we won't tell him. So we're going to use some indigo blue. This is Chariots of Fire, which is the gold gilding flakes. And we've got a piece of, this is, oh, what's it called? Rub It Scrub It. And this is some Flitter glue from indigo blue. And we've also got a piece of fat foam or cut and dry foam. So we need a stamp as well. So let's go for, let's go for the roses. And I'm only going to use the small square. So let's use this one. I've got loads and loads and loads of the little squares all stamped out already. I've got so many ideas, but you know, I will run out of time, not just on here, but on TV as well. So I will have to try and find some time for videos. Like I say, I'm trying to have a bit of a declutter as well. So lots to do. Oh, this is a new piece of fat foam. Oh, I've got a piece up there that I've already used, I think. Oh no, let's go for new. Right, so new piece of fat foam. You want your Flitter glue and do the nozzle. Not used this for a while, but it doesn't go off. So you want to put some of the Flitter glue onto your fat foam. And you want to spread it, give it a spread so that it gets absorbed into your fat foam. So this is now making a glue pad. And what you do is once you've finished, you've got two choices really. You can either wash it out, just put it into mortar and wash it out, and then you'll be with the new one again, or you can clean the nozzle off, or you can put it into a polythene bag like I've got here, and then you can just once it's kind of not dry but not wet, and then you just fetch it out of the bag and add more to it, and you can keep using it, so whichever way you want to do it. So we're going to go let's dust with an anti-static bag as well, because we're using the powders. Anti-static bag, where are you? Oh, where on earth have I put my anti-static bag? We might not anti-static bag if I can't blinking well find it. There it is. Jean, all my techniques are from, well, they have, well, not all of them, but most of them have come from other people anyway. It's watching and learning from other people. Like, you know, the other day when we was watching Phil, I think, oh yeah, I like that, I'll do that. So, you know, I'll never write a book. Never get round to it. Right, so now we've got a sticky glue ink pad here. So we're going to go tap, 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 all the way over the surface. Now there's a rule that you only put this onto your card for 3 seconds. Right? 1, 2, 3, and up. You can do another one. Do one on black card. You can keep on re-gluing your stamp and stamping for as long as you like. 1, 2, 3, and up. We'll do another couple because we can. But when you're finished, you want to put your stamp straight into some water, and you clean it off. Now, if you do find that too long, see that caught. I can't talk and do this. If you do find that your ink is sticky, or your stamp is sticky, 1, 2, 3, then you can use this easy peasy stamp cleaner from Indigo Blue, and that will, as per the instructions on the bottle, and that will clear it off for you. Also, because it sticks, it goes onto your acrylic block as well. So this now is going into some water without me getting it all over my fingers, because otherwise I'm going to be wearing what's it called? Glue for ages. I'm going to put that in over there actually, so I can wash it out. Right, like a cookie. You could also, you can actually run the fat foam around the edge of your card, and just, you know, like when you do with your VersaFine and you want to give it an embossed edge, you can run it around the edge and just put a little bit of the gilding flakes on. So now we've got an image that I haven't stamped very well there, and an image I haven't stamped very well there, and we've got 4 images that are a bit, who knows what, no, 3 images, who knows what they're like, because we can't see them. So let's have a look. So there is a technique where you can use a mix of gilding flakes and the powders on it. So it's nice and clear. It's not blue. If it's blue, it's not ready. You know, it's just not ready yet. So it does need to be nice and clear to work on. And you can leave this for absolutely ages before you actually do something with it, as long as you don't put anything on top of it. As soon as you put something on top of it, it's stuck. You can use the use kind of fine glitter with it as well. So we could take, let's just grab some and I'll do some in a minute. What's that? I think that's moon dust. Right, so let's just chop these up and we can deal with them separately. There's one. Do different things with them. Some of them will be better than others, because I can tell you for a fact that I haven't stamped some of these particularly well. we'll see. Because they're quite grungy, these stamps, it's hard to tell what you've done with them. Where is it? There it is. Right, so first of all, just plain old gilding flakes. You don't need much. So you use the bit of cut and dry foam to move it around, like so, and then you give it a good old rub. And that's it. That's all you do. Okay, there's one. You can see I've not particularly stamped it very well in the middle. Okay, so that's that one. I should do that, put on for a minute. Then you can do a mix, so you can add a little bit of the flake. So perhaps flake there and flake there and there maybe, because it grabs it. So there's your flake. Then you can also add a little bit of your powder. Oops. Tap, tap, tap. It goes everywhere, these gilding flakes. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with them. So you can have a little bit of powder. See it reveals itself. I can't remember whether we're supposed to scooch first and then powder. Let's add a little bit more powder. There we go. Where's our dry wet wipe? That one's a bit better. Sometimes the first one you do isn't so good. Look at that. So you've got a little bit of gilding flakes and then you've got the powder on as well. So you can do that. That's number 2. Then we've got another one here. Let's just clear some of this debris off a minute. Oh no, we do a twofer again. Put the lid on the powder, Julia, before you knock it over. Let's have a little bit of another twofer. So we'll have another bit of the gilding flakes. Let's put the lid on that for a second before I sneeze. And we'll have a little bit of a scooch. I do want to make sure that I don't make too much of a mess, because I don't want to contaminate what I'm going to put on next. So it might have been a good idea to do the... No, this one will be fine. Right. Talking to myself. Let's get rid of this mess. A little piece of... What's it? And then we can put some glitter on. I think this is moon dust. See, I've got a bit of... Ooh, you knocked it over. I've got a little bit of sticky there. That's off my block. So we've got there a combination of your moon dust and your gilding flakes. Not a brilliant image, but hopefully you're getting the idea of what we're aiming at. So you can do those two. Then what we can also do is we can go into here. This is your on your black card. Again, I've not stamped this particularly well. We can just put a little bit of glitter maybe. you've got glitter in a couple of corners there, right? No, not PVA. PVA glue, you need a tacky glue. PVA isn't a tacky glue. So you do need something like the Flitter glue. For me, as far as a glue is concerned, the Flitter glue is the best one that I've come across. If you want to use a tacky embossing powder, I think the Wow one is the best one that I've come across. But I do prefer the Flitter glue. So this is obviously your powder. This is your deep aquamarine. So again, just adding a bit of that. So where the glitter hasn't stuck to it, the powder will go on. Give that a... So here we've got a mixture of glitter and the powders. Okay. And then finally, what should we do on this one? Could go for all three, but that would be a little bit excessive. What should we do on this one? Let's have, we've done glitter. Yeah, let's have the powder and the gilding flakes, because we haven't done that on the black card. So we just put a little bit of the gilding flakes in a couple of areas again, and then scooch. So it goes a long way. You don't need much, especially when you've got fine lines. Obviously, if you're using doing the big square I think would be a bit of a challenge with the glue, because you want to get a decent image, and so you'd have to probably stamp it a couple of times, and then you've got the tearing of the paper issue. So I think the small ones are easier to do. And then let's have a different colour. Let's do the russet, which is I've got loads of sparkle in it. Through the middle. Ooh, that's nice. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't stamp them a bit better. It's just that middle bit. But again, then it's learning how your stamp is going to react with the different mediums. Excuse me, and where to put the pressure on more. Let's give that a dust. Oh, look at that on black card. Ooh. Would you still play with water to fix powder? It's not so necessary, to be honest, because you've got the Flitter glue. The Flitter glue is stronger than the Versafine, so it's, like I say, it's not that necessary. There's more of a grab with the Flitter glue than with Versafine. So I wouldn't bother if you're using the Flitter glue with the powder. I wouldn't bother to fix it now. So I think that's me done. So we've got a few different ideas for you to have a go at, you know, in your own time and leisurely, with, you know, not kind of trying to do it all in one go with the gilding flakes and the Flitter glue. So and then we've got the card that I made earlier, which is definitely more of a success than the Flitter glue, but that's just because it's just learning how your stamps are going to stamp with the Flitter glue. See, that one's better. That one's probably the best. I think that's the third one. That's actually probably one of the last ones I did. So the more you do it, it's definitely worth it, because you've already got your stamp glittered, flittered with the glue. It's definitely a good idea to stamp loads and loads of them, and so you've got loads to play with, right? Because you're going to have to wash it anyway, so you might as well, while it's dirty, do loads of them. So hope you found that useful. So don't forget Further up in the comments, I put you your discount code on my website, www.juliawatscrafts.co.uk, for 10% off everything on the shows. Phil's got bundle offers and different offers on his website. So, you know, lovely to have your support, because obviously we're small businesses, as well as obviously there's the Create and Craft shows if you prefer to purchase that way. I will Phil will be launching the collection on Create and Craft today at 6 p.m. and then he has a 9 p.m. show, and then I'm taking over from Phil tomorrow to do the 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. shows. And if you've missed this or want to watch any of it back again, you'll find it on my YouTube channel later on. Thanks very much, everybody, and I will catch you later. Bye.